bear arrived this morning. She was non-weight bearing on the left front limb. We took radiographs of her left limb and noticed that she had a ulnar fracture that was about, our guess is at least 4 weeks old. We decided to take a radiograph of her right limb as well and noticed she also has a right ulnar fracture.
Her name is Marley. She's a 7-year-old, probably our best guess is a Syrian grizzly mix. So we just received her about 4 weeks ago. We rescued her from Georgia. She was being kept in a facility with 17 other bears where they were being kept in essentially like cement pits where they were an attraction.
We decided it was best to basically try to treat the wound and remove any type of necrotic pieces of bone that were there. The problem with her is that she had an open wound as well. It's likely to be infected, so it's kind of a race against time of whether we can get the bone to heal in the amount of time that it takes for infection to set in.
She'll stay with us. She was rescued and now will live out the rest of her life at the sanctuary, which hopefully is going to be another 20 good years of, you know, happiness living on a 20-acre habitat versus a 30 by 40 foot cement pit.
This is my first grizzly bear.
Hopefully it means freedom, choices. She can do whatever she wants and enjoy life.
As long as she can heal those fractures, which may take some time, I think she'll have a pretty decent life.
Thank you again to the CSU Vet Hospital for the video. The vet hospital said that this was a very unusual case. It's the only time that a bear has been brought into the hospital. Many students and faculty were excited to help the grizzly bear get healthy and back on her feet again.
Moby Arena is getting a facelift. Brand new Colorado State signs are being put up outside of Moby. Crews have been working for the past week to finish the signs on the north and south side of Moby. The CSU Athletic Department hopes that these signs will create even more Moby madness and get fans, students, and locals alike to get even more excited for games. This is part of a multi-million-dollar project to upgrade Moby Arena, both on the inside and out. To see the changes for yourself, head over to Moby Arena on Saturday for the men's basketball game at 4 o'clock.
Recreational marijuana is becoming more of a possibility in Larimer County. Local medical marijuana store Choice Organics applied for a recreational license and growth permit, which has been approved by the County Planning Commission. Although one commissioner did not participate, the license recommendation passed on an 8-0 vote. The next hearing is scheduled for March 17th, where County Commissioner will decide whether or not to approve the license.
5 countries and programs have been added to the Education Abroad program. These countries include Ghana, Nicaragua, China, Australia, and Ecuador. Each program is very different and range from engineering to evolution. The Education Abroad department hopes that this will attract the attention of more students who would like to broaden their studies. Now, if you're interested in finding out more about the Education Abroad program, check out their office in Laurel Hall, which is on the east side of the Oval.
The crisis in Ukraine has escalated the past 3 days, with the death toll rising to at least 70 as of Thursday afternoon. Protesters in Kiev, which is the capital of Ukraine, are seeking the dismissal of President Viktor Yanukovych and his government's security forces. The president's refusal on Tuesday to vote on the law that would have reinstated limits on his power caused protesters to attack police lines and set fire outside of Parliament. After a short-lived truce collapsed on Thursday, security forces opened fire on the anti-government protesters as violence erupted yet again.
And now we're joined by weather anchor Jackie Wilson, and now she's going to talk about the crazy wind we were having today here in Fort Collins.
It has been nuts today. We saw about 30 to 50 mile per hour winds. Right. I feel bad for those people who had to ride their bikes to school today.
Oh my gosh, wow. I know. I almost got blown away just walking.
Right, we'll get ready to be blown away even more, up to possible 80-mile-an-hour winds tonight, but I'll tell you guys more about that when our weather update comes up.
Thank you. Plus, we'll take a look at how CSU has recognized Black History Month.
Don't go away.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Good evening, Fort Collins, and welcome back to CTV News. I'm Jackie Wilson, here for your Thursday night weather. Taking a look at today, it has definitely been quite windy. It almost felt nice walking through campus today with that Colorado sun shining so brightly, right up until the wind would come along. Gusting anywhere from 30 to 50 miles an hour, these powerful winds were able to cut our temperatures in half, making our nearly 40-degree high today feel more like 20 at times. Now looking across the state, we saw about 29 in Craig, 41 in Grand Junction. Here in Fort Collins, we were at about 40 degrees, but like I said, it felt much colder. And all along the I-25 corridor, it was in the 40s area. And those temperatures are taking a chilly turn tonight. Remember, those wind chills are going to drastically lower these temperatures, so be aware of that. But tonight we're seeing about 30 in Fort Collins, 32 in Denver, 30 in the Springs. Along the Eastern Plains, we're seeing about 26 in Sterling, 26 in Lamar. And remember that we're under a high wind advisory for tonight with possible wind speeds of up to 80 miles an hour in the foothills of western Fort Collins, and that's right in our area. Unfortunately, Rams, the wind doesn't seem to be letting up quite yet. Looking toward tomorrow's highs, we're expecting to see about 51 here in Fort Collins, and generally about 50s across the state, 24 in Vail, 34 in Telluride, and over here on the eastern side, we're seeing 51 in Burlington and 56 in Lamar. And the wind isn't the only thing that's changing. That's right, Rams. We even have a chance of snow coming our way Saturday night. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast. Today, like I said, it was about 40 degrees. Our lows tonight are reaching into the 20s. With that wind chill, however, it's going to feel like about 10 degrees. Saturday is that chance of snow at 39 degrees, but don't worry, we're going to come up to the 40s again right on Sunday. And our highest temperature of the week is going to happen on Monday at 46. Those lows are going to be around the 20s all week, however, so remember to keep warm and keep out of the winds. That's all the weather I have for you tonight. Fort Collins, have a great weekend, and back to you on the desk.
CTV reporter Ivana Yankovic found out many ways that CSU is recognizing Black History Month.
All across the country are coming together to discuss Black History Month. I asked 2 students why they think we should celebrate Black History Month.
Just a time to really appreciate our past, because I feel like with our generation we seem to forget where we've come from.
At the end of the day, I feel like education and putting an emphasis on educating our youth and anybody else is the key.
At the Black African American Cultural Center in CSU, events called Real Talks are often held, where students can come to freely discuss issues such as modern slavery, racism, education for African Americans, and much more.
We seem to not really acknowledge our past leaders and our newfound freedom, and so I think it's just a time to talk about the current issues, to talk about the past issues, talk about how we've grown, what we still need, what growth still needs to happen.
I feel like everybody has a choice, but at the end of the day, my choice will not be the same if I don't have this certain education for it. My education will correlate with my choices. I really want everybody to have the inspiration and ambition to spread their education. This could be for anything, Black History Month, school, buying a car, it doesn't matter. I just want everybody to have that, aspiration to tell other people about it.
If you're interested in finding out more about Black History Month, check out the African American Society.
Up next, sports anchor Ian Sylvester will join us. He has all of the updates on the CSU men's and women's basketball teams.
Stick around and see how all the teams are doing. We'll be right back.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Many CSU students may or may not be aware that Colorado State University does in fact have a snowboarding team. The CSU snowboarding team is made up of about 30 members, some more competitive than others, but all love the thrill of the sport.
I love doing it. I love progressing, learning new tricks and everything. I mean, I never knew you can do some of the stuff that they do. a really great learning experience for sure.
With the Olympics coming to a close, we asked the team members their thoughts about the snowboarding events.
A lot of people think Shaun White's the face of the sport, when there's a lot of other snowboarders who have really good style, who are going big and really competing, to their fullest ability. I was disappointed with the pipe construction. It looked like the pipe was just not up to par. It's an Olympic event, and it looked slushy. It looked like a spring pipe. But the competitors, they made do with what they did. I think Shaun White's performance was below his standards, below what most people thought it was going to be. But ultimately, you're an Olympic snowboarder and you better be ready to throw down in whatever situation.
They may not be Shaun White fans, but would love to compete in the X Games or Olympics one day.
I always dreamed of going to the Olympics. If I make it there, that's a whole nother story. But I mean, if I can commit myself like my entire life to go snowboarding and making the Olympics, I would definitely do that. But I mean, it just depends on the timing and if I can do it or not.
The team has a list of sponsors as well as top-of-the-line coaching and welcomes any snowboarder with some experience to join the team.
We like prior experience. This isn't where we teach you how to snowboard. This is a team where we bring like-minded people together who are focused on progressing in park and freestyle. To potentially, if that's your goal, go to the Olympics or compete in X Games someday. That's where we're at, and it really creates a good community of people. A lot of freshmen come in, don't have people to ride with because they're from out of state, and that's really cool. So it just gives everybody a great chance to snowboard and have a lot of fun together.
CTV hopes to do a follow-up story with the team in the coming months at one of their favorite mountains.
Mainly Keystone and Breckenridge. We usually do the Epic Pass. A Basin's really fun for like late season, early season kind of stuff.
If you or anyone you know is interested in joining the team or just want to check them out, you can find them on Facebook by searching CSU Snowboarding. We're now joined by Ian. Thanks for filling in tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me tonight, Brynn. The U.S. women's hockey team came up just short today in the gold medal game to rival Canada. The U.S. team blew a 2-0 lead with less than 4 minutes left in regulation. Team USA has not been able to secure a gold medal in hockey since the 1998 Winter Games. In more local news, the conference-leading CSU women's basketball team beat second-place Boise State 71-51. The Lady Rams overcame a 9-point deficit in the first half and controlled the court through the rest of the game. They finished up their road trip Saturday against Wyoming in the Border War. The men's team was in action on Tuesday, but however, they did not have the same success against Boise State as the women did. This was a tough loss for the Rams as Boise State outshot them the whole game. Coach Eustace and his Rams enter this weekend's Border War game on a 3-game losing streak, and it's not good for the Rams, especially with these games at home. It's just not a good sign. The Rams got to figure it out. Now, I know all of you have basketball in the brain, but switching over to football season, the full CSU football schedule has been released. They start play on August 30th with a Rocky Mountain Showdown in Denver. They'll be looking to improve on their 8-win season coming off the coattails of their New Mexico bowl game win.
Ian, it's hard to believe that football is right around the corner.
It is so hard to believe. I can't even imagine, especially with basketball season winding down and the spring semester. Football, It's just so far away.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for you tonight. Thanks for joining us, Rams.
Have a great weekend.